Central State University Dayton campus. I'm Dr. Jack Thomas, the 9th president of Central State University, and I want to begin by recognizing the key individuals from the Dayton and Miami Valley region for joining us today to celebrate this occasion and their long-term support of Central State University. The Honorable Mayor Jeffrey Mims, let's give him a round of applause. He's also a CSU 1973 graduate of Central State University. And Mr. Brian Martin, Executive Director, Miami Valley Regional Planning Commission. If you're here, please stand. Well, let's give him a round of applause anyway. We appreciate your commitment to all of the transformative work happening at Central State University. Central State University, as a historically black university and the only 1890 land-grant institution in the state of Ohio, has an obligation to improve the lives of the citizens and the communities that immediately surround the university and to extend research and service to citizens and communities throughout the state of Ohio. HBCUs, 1890 land-grant institutions in particularly, were established when African Americans were unable to attain public universities to gain the knowledge, skills, and education necessary to live normal and productive lives. For the past 136 years, Central State University has worked to fill the tremendous void left by history, and as a result, we have positively impacted the lives of over 16,000 graduates, their families, and their communities. Give us a round of applause. Research has demonstrated that educational attainment is the single most reliable, predictor of an individual's social economic status. The more education a person has, the better off they are in all aspects of life, including income, health, and wealth. Education is essential to the closing the disparities in income between the underrepresented minorities and the majority population. We commend the United States Department of Commerce for recognizing this long-standing issue and for declaring equity as a core guiding principle in all the department's initiatives. The COVID-19 pandemic dramatically highlighted the economic inequities in the Dayton and Miami Valley region consistent with the national condition. The Department of Commerce's $3.6 million investment in Central State University Wilberforce Workforce Training and Business Development Center is funded under the Biden and Harris administration American Rescue Plan to mitigate the negative impacts of the COVID-19 pandemic. We certainly do thank this administration as well. Let's give them a round of applause. Underrepresented individuals, particularly African Americans, have borne a disproportionate share of negative COVID-19 health, economic, and educational outcomes. These disparities have further widened the social economic gap that exists between African Americans and the majority population. The Central State University's Workforce Training and Business Development Center will provide employment-related training and educational programs to increase the ability of underrepresented individuals to gain meaningful employment. The center will also promote small businesses creation and recognize their role in local economic advancement, job creation, and the socio-economic development of underserved citizens. The center's success will require continued collaboration with our partners who are integral parts to the development of the proposal submitted to the United States Department of Commerce and provided letters of support. Those partners are Miami Valley Regional Planning Commission, Air Force Institute of Technology, Atomic Object, City of Trotwood, Congressman Mike Turner, Dayton Area Chamber of Commerce, Dayton Development Coalition, Dayton Job Corps Center, Fifth Third Bank, Greene County Department of Development, Manifest Incorporated, CyberSure, Risk Versity, Clemens Incorporated, Champion, and Radiance, and others. Let's give them a round of applause. This is only the beginning of what we know will be a broad, transformative, and innovative collaboration of capable and like-minded individuals and organizations. Malcolm X once said that education is the passport to the future, for tomorrow belongs to those who prepare for it today. Central State University is in the business of improving lives and communities through education, and we appreciate all of our outstanding partners for joining us in this important work. So give yourselves another round of applause today. I certainly do thank you for joining us here for this press conference. At this time, I will turn it over to our illustrious Provost and Academic Vice President, Dr. F. Eric Brooks. Let's give him a round of applause as he comes forward.
Good morning. I am F. Eric Brooks, Provost and Vice President of Academic Affairs at Central State University, and it is an important part of my academic philosophy that universities cannot simply deplete the resources from the local communities, but we must find opportunities for those communities. Universities such as Central State must use our knowledge, our skills, our expertise to solve contemporary problems facing the communities where we are found. We must venture out of our ivory towers and go into the towns and cities which we are situated, and we must provide practical solutions to improve the lives of those who are in our communities. We are proud that the workforce training and business development will allow us to provide certificates and credentials that will make an impact, not only an impact, an immediate impact after taking short-term courses at the university. The center would also allow CSU to assist individuals not seeking 4 years degrees, but as I said before, short-term academic courses to make them more employable and increase their skills to retain their current jobs. The center fits within Central State University's mission and our strategic plan to provide short-term outcomes in all aspects of our academic enterprise and programs. The center will also allow Central State to improve our academic capacity for our four-year students as we acquire equipment and other resources to make our courses more current with skills necessary in demands for jobs. As a professional observer of politics and public policy, I understand that the disparities and inequities among the majority and minority populations must be addressed. This center will allow us to do just that. These disparities have prevented our country from effectively functioning, and until we utilize all of the talent of all of our citizens of the nation, we cannot function effectively, and our economy will not improve. In this era of global competition, leaving a certain segment or population out of the economic engine is detrimental to not only our local communities, to the state, to the region, and the nation as a whole. In fact, projections show that our country is going to have a drastically different demographic population in about 25 years. So it's incumbent on us to address all citizens of the country and all citizens who participate in our economy. It is this record of achievement and our long history of serving underrepresented populations that gives us confidence that we have the capacity and the ability to successfully implement the Workforce Training and Business Development Center. We are building our academic reputation. Not that we weren't strong in the past, but we're building our academic confidence, which is allowing national agencies such as the U.S. Department of Commerce that is giving us the ability to help solve societal problems. And as I said before, this is an essential part of our strategic plan. We're increasing our academic profile, advancing our research and scholarly activities. We're becoming a larger voice in addressing the issues facing our communities and our state. I want to congratulate Dr. Cootie and the CSU faculty and staff team who secured the grant. Dr. Cootie has been telling me since I arrived on campus about that they're working on this project, they're working on this grant. So I'm extremely excited, and as well as the president, we're extremely excited that this day has finally come. And I want to publicly recognize him by asking you to join me in giving him a round of applause. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Brooks. And as Dr. Brooks stated, when we arrived, Dr. Cootie was talking about this grant, and I really didn't know what he was talking about at the time. And I was wondering whether or not it was going to come into fruition. You know how some people have smoking mirrors when you arrive as a new president and the new kid on the block. So we're very proud, and Dr. Cootie, we certainly do thank you. And let's welcome Dr. Cootie as he comes forth here to speak.
Thank you, sir. Well, I don't need to introduce myself anymore. As the president said when he first came, one of our first conversations was he had received the letter of rejection from the U.S. Department of Commerce because we submitted this first in 2020. So imagine as a director, and one of your first conversations with the president is that something you submitted failed. So I was like, oh, he's going to think this guy is not very good. So we've been working at this since 2020. Again, I want to recognize the mayor, Jeffrey Mims, CSU class of 73. He also contributed to my success because he was one of the people I interviewed during my dissertation, and we talked about education policy in Dayton. But before I go to my formal remarks, there's somebody else here that I want you to recognize, and that's Stacy Swikat of Miami Valley. We started when we were really in lockdown. I had not met Stacy until today, even though we've spent maybe 20 hours together on Zoom exchanging emails. Our constant guidance and support made this day possible. Miami Valley Regional Planning Commission gave us accurate and timely information and helped us write the proposal. Stacy connected us with the Economic Development Agency in Chicago, who reviewed our draft proposal before we actually submitted it, which was one of the reasons why we were successful. However, as I said, the proposal was initially declined. But as you know, great ideas don't die, they're eventually recognized. It was later on in 2021 when we received the call from Ellen Hines, who I will introduce later to speak from EDA, that said, hey, the department was looking at opportunities that they had previously reviewed. And when they read your proposal and how it addressed the priorities of equity, recovery and resilience, workforce development, manufacturing and technology-based economic development, Ellen became a champion for our proposal and took it back to the review committee and said, this is such an important project that we must fund. I also wish to thank Mr. Lucius Plant of the Dayton Development Coalition and fellow CSU alumni. Mr. Plant was critical in getting letters of support for us from industry and other economic development agencies. And so these are the people that are behind making the sausage over the past 2 years. I must also mention other organizations, including Dr. Deji Badiru, Dennis Adesh of Parallax Research, Quincy Pope of the City of Trotwood, and many, many other individuals who help us, as the president said, give us letters of support. I also want to thank the multidisciplinary team of CSU faculty members who worked on the proposal. For those of you who don't work at a university, multidisciplinary is not as easy as it sounds. It should be easier, but everybody's an expert in their own field. So I'm going to ask the following individuals to please stand since we're working together. Dr. Fred Akins, College of Business, Dr. Rahunathan, Computer Science, Dr. Ramani Kandaya, Environmental Engineering. Is Dr. Abdallah here? Dr. Al Misteri. And I also want to ask some members of my office to stand. Bobby Bolin, Ashley Clayton. These were individuals when during the summer, during the Christmas break, we actually had to resubmit proposal to the EDA. So all these individuals worked during the break, long hours to submit the proposal. So please give them a round of applause. The center is actually based on the SEDS plan, and the SEDS plan is the Community and Economic Development Strategy for the Miami Valley. And we focused on two specific industries: advanced manufacturing and information technology and data. So it's an intentional plan that is based upon what is going on and is necessary in the Miami Valley. Stacy and her group already know what industries need short-term training and which industries are missing African American and underserved minorities. So that's why we selected these particular majors. So it is not a hope without a plan. It's an actual strategy. And because of that, we have specific partners that we identified in the proposal and that are willing and waiting and ready for us to start the actual project. We're waiting on EDA to send us the notice of award. Once we get the notice of award, we're going to hire somebody, and the center is located in this building for a specific reason. Again, this is where Stacy and I are like brother and sister now. Is that there's an actual graph that shows which portion of the city of Dayton, of Miami Valley, is really lacking in economic opportunities. And CSU Dayton sits in the heart of that. Right around us, you have the Dayton Job Corp. You have industries that need manufacturing engineering employees. So this particular location is critical. And when we send the proposal to Ellen, we send that image as the cover, like, see, look at that red spot. This is where the center is, and this is where the work is going to occur. So our hope is that 6 months from now, there'll be cars parked all around this building, people coming in and out, getting training, and also some of the training will occur on campus. As Dr. Brooks said, we're going to acquire equipment for our facilities so that our current students will also get the knowledge and skills necessary to work, to develop their skills. Finally, I want to mention that this is a transformative project, not just for Central State, but for the entire region. I believe that if we do this right, this center will be self-sustaining well after the grant is over. That industry will invest in Central State and our students and faculty and understand that as the only public HBCU, we have the skills, we have the ability, we have the motivation, and we have the credibility to go into communities to provide the skills and services that are necessary. So also, EDA is keeping score. I noticed in their press release, they said the center is expected to create 300 jobs. So I went to look at our proposal. I said, we didn't say that, but hey. But hey, they gave us the money, so we will create 300 jobs. And we're going to train 1,300 individuals throughout the process. So again, it's not just that we're creating jobs, it's that we're looking at people that have dropped out of the educational system or people that are underemployed to bring them back into specific areas so they can actually get the skills and knowledge necessary, and that you don't have to wait for 4 years. You can do a 3-month course. You can do a 6-month course, get a certificate, and then you become immediately employable. And as the president said, the COVID-19 pandemic made the situation worse, particularly for underrepresented people. And as we all know, the more money you have, the better access you have to healthcare, the better wealth you have, the more wealth you have, and the better you do. So again, I'm going to bring Ellen up to say a few remarks. And I was joking with her before that I said, you know, you can make this even better if you say you're going to increase our award. So without further ado, this is Ellen Hines, the Ohio representative for the Economic Development Administration.
Good morning. Just want to say congratulations to Dr. Cootie and Miami Valley, all of the partners who are so extensively involved in applying for this project. You put a lot of time, energy, effort, and creativity into making a very successful application, and I think that has very realistic and practical outcomes. I can't say enough about the great team. This was such a highly competitive process, and I have the great fortune to work with Ohio applicants and our partners at the regional office make the decisions in Washington, D.C. But again, I couldn't be more thankful to work with the team. A couple of things I really love about this project: it's very innovative. I appreciate the ingenuity. We appreciate the location and the commitment, but also the practical nature. I think there's some great solutions in there for workforce training and also for business development. Again, just want to say thank you and congratulations to the entire team. This is such an honor and privilege to be here today. And again, just want to note Dr. Cootie's perseverance. And not a lot of applicants came back and went through the process and weren't funded through the first application, but came back, put a lot of work to make it as successful as it could be. Again, a very, very competitive process. I wish I had more money to give, but that is way out of my lane. But again, thank you so much. It's truly an honor and a privilege to be here today. We look forward to a very successful project and supporting you. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, and we certainly do appreciate the funds that you have given to Central State University. At this time, I would like to bring forth Mayor Mims. He's a 1973 graduate of Central State University, and I must say that he's one of our biggest cheerleaders and champion of Central State University. I don't know if he's going to do a cheer or not, but I'm going to turn it over to him. Let's give him a round of applause.
Okay. Yeah, thank you so much. Thank you so much, Dr. Thomas. You know, on a personal note, I just want to make sure I make it real clear so the kids say don't get it twisted. I am who I am because of Central State University. Okay? Yeah, please. You know, as a former teacher and a coach, it's always great. I see one of my former students back there, Mr. Lamore, who's one of the best designers, models, and artists in this community, and I think internationally as well. But thank you so much, Brian Martin, Lucius, President Derek Ford of the NAACP, so many people that have been able to make a strong contribution to this community. You know, and thank you, Ellen, because I was with Ellen was it last week, week before last? Man, time flies. So they were here with us and our city manager. We were riding around to several sites in Dayton. And, of course, we had our hat in our hand. We were begging for money as well. So we got word that Central State was getting some money. So, oh, man, good, that's great. Yeah, you ought to call the president if you know him. I said, oh, yeah, I know the president. So I explained my phone, hey, Siri, call President Jack Thomas. so just let him know what was happening in terms of this whole process. You know, we have been very blessed and very lucky here in Dayton to have so many great partners. This whole project here is adding to that list. You know, more and more of the things that have happened downtown, the arcade, the Levitt Center, we're working $31 million in terms of the convention center, $38 million from Sierra Nevada at the airport, more and more jobs. We have more jobs than we have people. This work here with Central State University, especially those multi-level training programs, are going to give us more and more of those young people to put them in positions to earn a living and also a high quality of life, and also what you do when you get money, you pay taxes. So those tax dollars are going to come into the pot to help us make more and more things happen in Dayton. You know, we passed a tax increase about 6 years ago, the largest tax increase, let me rephrase that, the only tax increase in the last 34 years in Dayton, fixing all the roads in Dayton, fixing parks and recreation facilities, also having 20 more police officers, additionally having EMS officers for other issues that help take care of the citizens that we have in Dayton. $11 million for preschool education to make sure that we give our young people a better start so that when they got to kindergarten, they'd be in a better position to make a contribution to the educational process. These kinds of contributions, these type of projects only happen when we have unity. And the type of unity that we have here with, again, with Central State being such a great partner in this community, is just going to make us move further and further ahead in clearly the right direction. So again, as I sit down, I just want to make sure that one of my major goals is working with youth, putting youth in a great position to be educated so they can make those contributions to society. And bottom line, raising the median income in the city of Dayton. Now, we've been on a pretty good track the last 8 years. We've gone from $28,000 as a median income to $34,000. Now, that's not where we want to be, but it means that we're moving in the right direction. And your help is making us move a lot quicker than we had intended in the past. So thank you again for being here. And again, I am who I am for Central State University. So for those alumni, for God, for Central, for State. Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. At this time, we will pause to take a few questions, and then we will conclude this press conference.
Any questions?
I don't even know your first name, ma'am, and I apologize for not knowing your last name, but can I get you at the podium for just a moment?
Oh, absolutely.
And only for television purposes, do you mind giving us your first name and your last name? If you would, please spell your first and last name for us.
Sure, Ellen Hines, and my last name is spelled just like the ketchup, but no relation to the dynasty, unfortunately.
All right, for our viewers, can you elaborate on the grant that was proposed to Central State?
Absolutely. It was part of the grant from the American Rescue Plan Act, and they applied for funds through the Economic Adjustment Assistance Program, and yeah, we're successfully awarded it.
Can you talk about the amount of the award and how difficult it was to obtain the award?
Sure. The award was, I believe, about $3.6 million, and it was an extremely competitive process. We actually have many projects that are still in consideration, so this is one of the earlier announcements. And again, we look at many different factors. We look at job creation, job retention, and investment in the communities, equity being one of the top priorities for investment for EDA.
Not to take away from the importance of Central State receiving this award, but how many different agencies, different communities applied for the award?
I don't have an exact count because we're actually part of the Chicago Regional Office, which includes 6 states. But I think it was our most competitive process to date that I'm aware of.
What is your hope that your agency, when you guys delivered the news to Central State that they won the actual award itself, what is it your hope that the community takes away from the award?
The opportunity, the enormous opportunity here. I think there's a lot of vision. As Dr. Kuti, he's such an eloquent speaker, stated, it's a transformative project. It's a transformative opportunity, and not only to take that investment, but also to multiply on that and to have it be far sustainable, even beyond the time frame for the grant. So.
And how often is the award awarded?
We have an rolling application process, so we don't have a specific time frame for when other awards will be announced, but this is definitely a huge achievement.
And more importantly, how is the award made possible?
Through the funding from the American Rescue Plan Act, through the federal government.
Thank
Public
you.
dollars, yeah.
Thank you for doing what your agency does, and thank you for awarding Central State.
Oh, all the credit goes to this team that applied and the people who make these decisions, but thank you so much. It's an honor to be here today.
There's one more question. Yes.
Hi, London Bishop, St. News. I understand that there's just shy of $1 million in a local match for this grant. Where is that money coming from, and what will the money be used for?
So the money is coming from Central State. The match is going to be effort by Central State University staff and faculty that are not going to be paid but work on the project. Some of the match is going to be the space that we're providing for the project to be located. And some of the match is going to be the use of current university equipment to contribute to the project.
And the $3.6 million, is that also going to be used to hire faculty, dedicate space? How will the money be used?
So the $3.6 million essentially is going to be used to buy equipment, because we need some state-of-the-art equipment to train our students and other people in the community to get in-demand jobs. Some of it is going to be used to hire professional, including CSU faculty, to conduct the workshops. Some of it is going to be used to acquire software to do the training. And yeah, that's essentially the major aspects of the project. A bulk of the funds will go directly into the project, so that the participants benefit directly.
Do you have students that are
Yes, as we said, this was based on a strategy, a comprehensive plan developed by Miami Valley Regional Planning Commission and other agencies in the area, that there's a demand from employers for people with the skills for jobs that are vacant. So we know there's a pool of people out there, and we also know there's a pool of jobs out there. But in addition, we also have current CSU students that will also gain when we increase the infrastructure. And as I said earlier on, all we're waiting on is we get the notice of award from the Department of Commerce and hire a project director to start immediately.
One more question, yes.
Yes, Simeon Oyemi, class of '04. My question is there going to be any type of outreach to the high school students through like the Central State Upward Bound program, since it deals with the sciences?
There's going to be outreach everywhere. I mean, we're going to do high schools, we're doing community colleges, we're working with the Job Corps, we're working with any economic development agency in the area that helps prepare people for in-demand work. So, we're going to have outreach everywhere, and this press conference is just the initial start of letting everybody know that we received the grant. Once we get the actual notice of award, then we actually start implementing and using social media and every other form of communication to let people know where it's going to be. And the reason we're having the conference here today is because this is going to be the location, and everybody will know where the project actually will be.
And this is the absolute last question.
I'm going to try to get this in as quickly as I can, sir. What kind of equipment is needed? And if I can, what kind of courses are going to be offered as well?
Well, now you're going beyond my grade. Because this is scientific equipment. I don't know if one of the manufacturing engineering professors want to come and talk about the equipment. Dr. Are Marauders.
And can you get your name as well?
Assistant Professor, Central State University, named Salih Al-Mastiri. So we will have, in the manufacturing engineering department, we will have metal additive manufacturing, we will have CNC programming and machining, and welding workshops. And there are possibility we might add others, but these are the three major workshops that we're targeting.
What kind of courses, if you know what the courses will be?
So there are workshops, so short, directed to cover certain subjects. I wouldn't call them a course. I think what we agreed on is a workshop base. So it's very intense and very focused. And thank you. Salih Al-Mastiri, S-A-L-E-H, and last name is Al-Mastiri, A-L-M-E-S-T-I-R-I.
We will talk.
All right, thanks.
Thank you. Hasn't this been wonderful? Before we conclude, I would like to acknowledge the president of the Dayton Public Schools, Mr. Will Smith. Let's give him a round of applause. Thank you all for coming. This concludes our press conference for today. Thank you so much for being here.